Hello and welcome. Hope everyone's doing alright. We made it through winter, or at least I hope everyone did. Not all the plants did, unfortunately, so this is what this is, the last tour of winter going into spring. So we'll see what survived, what hasn't, what's moving, what's not, and yeah, look forward to the new year. So we may as well start down this end as we're here. So one thing to note is, we'll go around and have a look at it in a minute, but I did get another passion flower, a slightly different one, to go into this other pot as well. So that'll be two passion flowers climbing up here. I'll just put some wires in that, like I have done with the Lonicera over there. So may as well start over in this corner. Not too much going on around here really. The dropped its Walkabout Jurassic Golds in the tiki heads. They're what I would refer to as a picky prune, as in I'll just be taking individual fronds off that are damaged. I won't do what you do with a lot of ferns, which is chop the lot off when the new croziers start. So we'll do that. That's a nice little task to do. Moving on over here, the Atratas looking good, nice and sheltered in deep shade, definitely like shade them. And then we've got this Trachylospermum Jasminildes. I've actually just bought another one to go over in the other side of the garden down in Camellia Corner, just so it marries up, and I've got an even number of them because, yeah, you know, we can't be having odd numbers of stuff because that's just crazy talk. Down in the corner we've got this Sertonium fortunii, the holly fern. He seems to be doing all right down there. We'll see how he does this year. And then just down in the centre, you can probably just get a little glimmer of him there, is the Polysticum congestion. This needs to move because it's too attractive to be there, basically. So yeah, see how we do with that. But other than that, that area looks all good. Moving on round, Blechnum spicant down there doing well. I don't think that's going to size up too much more, but it adds a little bit of interest there. Again with the fat cedera, hopefully. I don't know if these things do branch off. I mean, they must do. Yeah, of course it does, because I've bent the main trunk over. So yes, so hopefully this will get up in amongst all this this year. Moving on down here, got the big Cyathea. So yeah, on reflection, it's hard to tell whether the heating did a job or not. So what I've learnt from winter with this is that the fronds are not going to survive on a, this is a Cyathea couperii. The crown might survive. I've got that heating there just for that reason. But yeah, I'm not sure no matter what we do, the fronds will survive unless I, you know, heat them or cover them, which I'm not willing to do. But if I can fill this with evergreen stuff, you'll notice the Schefflera taiwaniana there, newly planted on the left. If that grows up and creates a bit of canopy over these couple of tree ferns, they might do. But yeah, I mean, it's a supplementary thing, the Cyatheas, so we'll keep the coil around it just to keep it alive. We'll lose the fronds every year, but if it gets bigger and bigger and then just shoves out 3 or 4 massive fronds, then that's going to be quite good, I think. So down here as well, like I said last time, this sword fern on the left, the Polysticum muntium, it's probably muntium or something like that, but it didn't like being moved. It was doing really well over in the middle bed and I moved it and it doesn't like it. So we'll see what happens. Worst case scenario, it doesn't like it there, I'll buy another one if that thing dies. So one we haven't checked in on a while is this Polysticum susimensi, which is the Korean rock fern. This one again looks like a bit of a picky pruner, so just any of the dead fronds I'll take off, but it's got a nice sort of sharpness to the fronds there, so we'll see how that does moving forward. This post here, I'm a little bit not sure what I'm going to do with it. We can see that Nephrolepis is dead. That thing, there's no signs of life in it, so that'll be coming down. So yeah, I'm sort of, I've got the ivy climbing up it, so I might just take the you know, the fur, not the fur, felt off with the bag, and then put those aspleniums back in there, and then let the ivy climb up around them, and then maybe gradually work my way up doing that with them. We'll see. But this is what it's all about, experimentation across the nation. So down here we've got a drop to its Wallichiana, just a standard one. This one I put in small last year and it completely, I thought it died. As you can see, the fronds only got really small on it. These can get pretty big. Looks like we've got 3 or 4 crowns on it. we'll see what happens with it. I really want to see this one because it should go lime green with the black stipe, which is my favourite thing. Got another little polysticum plumus and congestion down there, which I'll move because it's too nice to be not seen. This is a very small Dixonia. When I bought it, just the plant ones you get for 15 quid. You can see some of the fronds are frosted off, but it's actually bouncing back. And we've got one coming up already, so that's good. The larger Dixonia, again, fronds are frosted off. I haven't really covered it properly, I must admit. I've just shoved a load of leaves in there, so we'll see. It's got a couple of green fronds. One of the green fronds I had to chop so that Scheffler has got room to go up. Fatsia's doing all right. I want to try and cut the boots off this, or give it socks. Is there? I can't remember the saying, but yeah, you can see it did flush and then it's been burnt off. The other one's okay though, somewhere. So yeah, we'll just let that do what it's going to do. Moving on in, we've got the Hydrangea Simanii in behind all this. It's doing all right. Be interesting to see what happens with that this year. It's only went in late last year, but it looks quite nice. The leaves are nice and glossy on it, so we'll see. You can see the Kraken awakes with the Dropteryx artrata. These fronds come out really nice, as you can see there. So this is one that for the most part will just lob off everything. Yeah, then let all the new stuff come out. The Cyathea couperii here inside a coil has done all right. It's got a few stinging nettles and a bit of bindweed starting to come through. They're like sort of, it's one of them, and you sort of get like, oh, spring's here, and then you come out and there's stinging nettles and bindweed and you're like, oh yeah, spring's here. But you know, it's all part and parcel of it, isn't it? So we've got the one that's gone at the back there, which nearly opened. This one's nearly coming out as well, so this thing looks like it's going to go some. It looks quite big as well. I mean, that thing is up to my hip, so what, 0.75 of a metre. Now the two Polysticum setiferum Herrenhausens is actually one of the only times of year they don't look sort of 8 out of 10, because some of the fronds you can just see have browned off a little bit. So again, this is another picky pruner, so any of them that have gone brown, I'll be taking off, and you can already see we've got some new ones coming up, so we'll make space for that. Some of these which are half on and half off, but it's done well and really did well over winter, that thing. So yeah, you know, it dies off a little bit just as all the stuff's going to start coming into light. So this is where the small Dixonia Antarctica, the 1 foot one I bought, is going to go. It's going to marry up and make it symmetrical with that one we just saw over there. So the Dropteryx Wallichiana there, which again didn't do very well last year, we'll see how it does. But this Polysticum polyblepharum, you can just see it's got that nice gloss to it, and it's really starting to stand out. And this is an early goer as well. You can see we've already got 1, 2, 3, and there's probably more down there. Yeah, there's 4, 5. Yeah, so that thing's just starting to go now, so in the next week or two that'll really start going. So yeah, shame I'm going to dig him up, but it is what it is. I'll find a nice place for that, hopefully. Fig tree wise, I'm going to give this a little bit of a prune. Now, had a bit of a battle last year, you may remember, with the scale insects. They have hunkered down on the stem there, hopefully. A bit close to it, but oh yeah, there you go. You can just see them all hunkered down on there. Frost doesn't look like it's done a lot to them. Most of the other branches are okay. So yeah, I'll be lobbing that branch off, that little stem branch, maybe some of the others, and possibly one of these top ones. Probably, I was going to take this one off that's going towards the fence, but I might leave that one on there, take off maybe the one going to the right, and then if that thing grows, it will force it out and bend the trunk, maybe. We'll see. So this Fatsia here is doing all right. You may remember this trunk died off last year. I think that was where I was testing the irrigation, and this is very boggy up. This section here is a very sort of wet soil up here. It's not very well drained. So yeah, I'll just have to be a little bit careful with that. But yeah, we'll leave that to grow, and hopefully it'll go up and start bushing out at this higher height now. So yeah, it should be good. Here's the other Sciath. You can just see one of the fronds has snapped in the wind. It looks to be okay down there, as in it's not all black, but no new croziers are coming up just yet, so we'll see what happens with that. You know, it's all experimentation. There's a little T-Rex. Another Setiferum, just the standard version there, that will size up this year. Scheffler looking good. It's going to split this one into two. Well, it already has split into two sort of trunks, but that's okay. It's the other ones that I want to go up in one single stem, so we'll see how that goes. Another Bleckner spicant, shrug everything off. Got the Pilostagia verbenoides here. Finally cut the flowers off it last year. You can see it's rewarding me with lots of new growth over the place, so I'll just leave that really. I won't trim it back to the wall or anything. I'll just let it do what it's going to do. Star of winter alert is this Blechnum chilense. You can see it's just every frond on it looks like pretty mint and good. And if we have a little look down there, I'm sure you can see them, but we've got a nice load of croziers about to come up again as well. Here's the, you may see the Munco puzzles gone. I've just taken out of here to get a bit of light. So this is the Lamatia ferrugini. This is a little tree that kind of has a little fern like quality to it. This will be going behind the bench where the canna is now, and then the canna will be coming over here, or half of it at least, temporarily. And then just to the right of that, or the top of that coil as we're looking at it, that's where the Clematis armandii will go, which will grow up here when I finally get the trellis done. So yeah, in here, these I'm thinking about putting that Blechnum nudum tree fern in here because they like it boggy, and this is quite boggy, and let it place safe because I'm going to get a bigger Dixonia for this area, or I might not. So got the Aspenium scolopendrium there, the hart's tongue fern. Got another Sertonium fortunii, which is pretty not having a great time under the coil. You can see this Polysticum brownie eye. This is so small, I don't know what it's going to do or look like. You can see we've got loads of new croziers coming up though, so yeah, give me something to look forward to, see what it does. This Lophosaurus, I'm probably going to leave it in here. I was thinking about moving it and nurturing it a little bit, but I might just see what it's going to do this year, because it survived. It's got 3 or 4 croziers coming up. It just can't seem to size up because the frost gets on it. And then over there we've got the Chiliensis tomentosa. That really died off. I think that doesn't, like, that's almost like a desert fern, or as close as you're going to get to it. So I think the spot for that is actually going to be up in the planter up there. So yeah, but hopefully it will survive just the next few weeks before I do that. The Willemi pine survived all right. So that'll be going in the ground in and around where it is now. I just need to move all these big stones out, which I will do shortly when I clear all this out, getting ready for the waterfall, which we'll go through another time. That's my bench. I'm just slowly burning through all the pallet wood so that's my little bench for it. So in here, this banana pup's going to come out. Just put it in a pot for now, see if it survives, and I'll probably put one of the little pines in there. I may even get like a cypress tree for there, because I think that might look quite good, but we'll see if I can find a cheap one. Again, the Droptrix erythrosaura is a picky pruner. I leveled it last year, as it were, took everything off, and it's not recovered very well, so I'll just leave it this year, I think. Again, like I said last time, the Droptrix lepidopoda, very nice and sort of pronounced, looks very much like the Jurassic Golds, like, you know, the fronds on it and the sort of gloss you get on it. Got the big Droptrix Wallichiana here, all frosted off, so this is one that you would clear them all off of, but the good thing is we've got a nice big crown there. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, see what that's going to do this year. The hibiscus, which is, this is another location for the Blechnum nudum. I may move that, but I'm just a bit dubious because that Blechnum chilense on the right and the Droptrix Wallichiana are quite upright, shuttlecocky type shapes. So is the Blechnum, and so it would probably make sense. It would probably almost make sense if I'm going to move that hibiscus to put the maybe put a pine where the lepidopoda is, and then put the Lepidopoda there, but we'll see. All fun stuff to think about. The Scheffler is in there, he's doing alright, not been blown away yet. The Atrata, again, you know, I'll take off all the sort of dead ones and let all the new stuff come up. So over here, here's where I took out the I've got the name of it now, Hypulpus punctata, which have gone crazy in the corner. You can see it's starting to go crazy again already, and already reached the ends of those pots, even though I split it in half. So yeah, definitely not one for the ground, that, unless you want it to absolutely cover everything. Very brackeny. So yeah, monkey puzzles over there on the left. So these bananas, just as they're about to start coming out, didn't protect them this year, they're all fine. What did it get to? -6, didn't it? So yeah, not too bad, they did all right. So in this area here, behind the bench in the corner, I'm going to put the Clematis almandii, which will hopefully climb up the left of the octagon, and then up over that and across to the waterfall when the time comes. Behind the bench directly will go the Lamatia ferruginea. Where this Atrata is, that we can just see the two fronds coming up over, I'll put the Lophosauria I've got, and then where this Aphaenus pindarini is in front of the fence post and the Nephrolopis, I'll put a Camellia and one of the Bosnian pines in the pot, and then we've got the Lophosauria over there, which is doing really well actually. If we go through, it's throwing up fronds crazy speed now. You can see we've got this big one coming up towards us here. There's one just gone out the back, one's just come out over here, so that's good. The Strepsirrhizia, that'll be coming out. It's just a bit of an experiment, but it's alive, you know, you can see it's all fine down there. It's just, yeah, I might leave it in there just for now, we'll see what happens. But yeah, Linarissa Hildebrandiana, the giant honeysuckle, survived. I don't want to curse it, but it seems to be okay. You can see some of the leaves look pretty good on it, and it's all starting to bud up. So what I'll probably do is take it quite far back, I think, because all that top bit over there is all dead. So I'll probably take it maybe, yeah, down to here somewhere, and just see what happens with it growth wise, but we'll get into that when we get into it. So finally, Camellia corner. So behind that orchid is where the Tracheospermum jasminoides is going to go, because there's a little spot for that, so that'll tie up quite nicely with the other one. Here's the other passion flower I got, slightly different variety, but should do all right. Camellia's looking good. Nephrolopis didn't survive. My Coiniogram emiensis, if we can see it, the bamboo fern, has been absolutely destroyed by slugs, so I might take him out. And this is my biggest quandary, is this corner actually. I just want it to look good, so I've got the Erythrosaur and the Aphaenus in the back, which is going to be an absolute beast this year. Also that little Cyathea australis is in now. They've all survived. The Nephrolopis there on the bottom right didn't. So yeah, I'll probably take the Erythrosaur out and put it where the Chilensis tomentosa is for now. The Aphaenus, God knows what I'm going to do with that, because he's a bit of a beast, so he may have to go out the front. But yeah, we'll see how we do when everything's out of the ground. So another little plan, this sort of block work I do with the flower bed, which I will render at some point, but it'll be the last thing I do. I may put a little block flower bed where that bench is, where the seat is, so I can send something up there, and then again something where this little dragonfly art is. I've got something there to climb up there. I may even build a big one for the Tetrapanax over here. I think that would look quite good. Yeah, and there's the Enseti, which has been out for a few weeks now, not looking great, but starting to go, getting a bit of sun. So yeah, not too bad really. Main ones that didn't make it, which was a bit of a pity, is the Nephrolopises. I'll probably try and save them. I'll see if any of them have got any green bits on them in the next couple of weeks, and maybe put them in some hanging baskets, and then it'll make it easier for me to take inside next year. Other than that, we learnt the Cyatheas. The Cyatheas will probably survive with the coils, but they probably, I won't be able to keep the fronds on them for evergreen lookness. But other than that, everything else has survived, so I'm pretty happy with that. Move on to phase 2 in the next couple of weeks. Got a few bits to do out the front. A lot of these little odd ferns here and there that are going to be moving, they'll go out the front, so I might do that, move them out the front. We can have a little catch up out the front because I've done my water butts now, so they're all ready to go. Just see what's going on out there, and then by the time the next tour comes round, it'll all be done hopefully, and all these new plants will be in there ready to go. So yeah, hope everyone is good. I will see you next time.